In the time of Jesus, children were regarded as of the same class as slaves. In fact, the word in Greek that's used here for child is interchangeable with slave or servant. Such was their low status. Jesus, at this point in the gospel, is doing a couple of things. One, he's overthrowing this notion. He's indignant that the disciples are refusing to let the children come to him. And he rebukes them. These are some of the strongest words you can use in the Bible. Jesus is communicating to us that in the time he lived, it was a time based on pride and power. The kingdom of God really overturned that notion during the days of Christendom. We live in the days of post-Christendom, where the Christian vision of the world, vision of human life, is being overthrown. In those days, children were regarded as no better than slaves. In our day, they're regarded as commodities, to be acquired or discarded according to the whim of the parents. As the first century needed conversion, our century needs conversion. He says we are called to receive the kingdom as a child. The kingdom is God's way, God's order, God's peace, God's understanding of how humans relate to one another. It's not something we acquire. It's not something we dreamed up, but it's something that we're invited to receive. Children were regarded as of low status in the time of Jesus because they were dependent. They could not live life on their own. They were not self-sufficient. That's why Jesus saw them as so valuable. God looks at the world in many ways completely opposite to the way humans, left to their own devices, look at the world. The dependent, those that are not self-sufficient, are in fact the most valuable and the most to be protected. Finally, Jesus closes this gospel with an image. He touched the children and blessed them. In doing this, he stands in the place of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the fathers who blessed their oldest sons as a way of claiming them, as a way of continuing their heritage. But Jesus doesn't bless just the sons in this case, and again is giving us instruction just simply by his action. He blessed all of them. He touched them, he claimed them as his own, and he blessed them that they might have a heritage, a future. Maybe it is well known or proclaimed in the pro-life movement. This is a challenge to fathers. And in fact, the whole pro-life movement is a challenge to fathers, because men were culpable. We've, in many cases, refused to touch and to bless the children. Not perhaps men here, but the refusal of men to claim the child, to touch it, to bless it, to give it a future, is a call for deep conversion of men. to take the role of father seriously. Fatherhood is not, the act of fatherhood, the act of creating a child is not just recreation, but it's a holy act. Fathers must claim their children and give them a heritage and a future.